No.
No, you cannot fix. Yayay na. If you don't know how to clean, yayay. Papi. Nila closet sila kuya na?
I don't know.
Pero kibawas lahat mo kaya.
Yeah.
Okay, later. This one's so dirty na. Uy, dami lang din. Okay, I'll clean it. Don't forget to bring water. And then, be cleaning here. One only. No. One only, empty tanning. Okay.
Hi everyone, we will begin shortly. Okay, welcome everyone. Good morning to Press Janelle, to my fellow Zoot sisters who are watching and guests. And good morning also to our guests from SOS Village and students and faculty of CNU. Thank you for joining us today on Teen Connection 2022. Violence is never a solution. My name is Kim, your host, and I'm the co-chairman and a JCI Zugwana baby. You may wonder why we're here. We're here because we're amplifying our voices and open up a safe space to discuss issues about domestic violence. We don't have to be silent. We don't have to be just victims. We are empowered and we will empower. The first thing I want to say is that sorry, my connection got cut. So as I was saying, we're here because we are sorry. So thank you everyone for joining us on Teen Connection 2022. Violence is never a solution. My name is Kim, your host and co-chairman and a JCI Zugwana baby. So we're here because we're amplifying our voices and opening up a safe space to discuss about domestic violence. We don't have to be silent. We don't have to be just victims. We are empowered and we will empower. Before we officially begin, let us take a look at the screen and recite the national anthem to be followed by the JCI Creed.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Alam ng puso sa liko'y buhay, upang hinihirap, siyempre ng magiging taman lupin. Di ka masisipin sa nagtatapos sa simoy at sa langit ng bagaw, ay tinanggap tulakaw sa pagkalang minamahal. Pagkawal mo'y tagumpay manakinig, ang tutuwing na karoon niya kay ganwang ay nakinig. Tumalang araw ng marhamit pagsika, huwag langit sa piling mo. Ang binigaya ng pangayong namin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the breath of men transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and service to humanity is the best work of life. We reaffirm our conviction that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life. May the Lord guide us in all our undertakings. Provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. To be the leading global network of young, active citizens.
All right, so may I call on our project chair, BB Jackie, for the opening remarks.
Hello and good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to acknowledge our guest speaker, Sir Genesis Dahan and Lieutenant Fe Altubar for joining us here for this year's TeenCon. Also, I would like to acknowledge our President, Ms. Janelle Casas. Thank you also for coming here today, and also to the CNU students. I'm sure these are the students of Sir Genesis. And then to all the viewers right now, welcome. So this year's TeenCon, we chose the topic of about violence is never a solution because we have according to research, we have seen in the rates that 15 ages 15 to 49 years old, they're uh especially teens, they're also a victim of domestic violence. And then the hard thing there is that one is, even at a young age, we still don't know um how to overcome it, or how to even protect ourselves through the law, or how do we clinically recover from the trauma of violence, whether it's domestic, physical, emotional. This is a really must for us, especially for the young teens, because of course we all know that we're very vulnerable. And this TeenCon, we can say that this is very helpful for us to learn on ways on how to protect ourselves, because one way of protect the only people who could protect us if we're alone is only ourselves, Rapod. So this is why TeenCon is hosting a topic about violence, especially for the young ones. So I hope after this conference you will learn also, especially with Lieutenant Faye, like she will be teaching us about the Republic Acts Against Violence. And also, we could also learn how to recover from the trauma of violence from Sir Genesis. So thank you everyone for coming here. Your efforts of listening right now is also a great benefit for all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, PC Jackie, for that warm welcome. I would like to call on Director Eunice to introduce our first speaker.
Good morning, everyone. So for our first speaker, I would like to introduce Police Lieutenant Fe Altubar. She's the Chief of Women and Children's Protection. Hi there. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So we'll begin now my lecture.
Yes, po,
Hello.
ma'am.
Can I be heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I did not give in my CV because when I do like this, no, I don't want to give all the trainings and affiliations that I have, but for a few lang, for a brief introduction, yeah, I am now the regional chief of WCPD. Our office is now located here at Camp Sergio Osmeña, Osmeña Boulevard, no, the city. And also, before my assignment here, I was assigned in Cebu City from different units. So when it comes to experience, in WCPD, it's just my new assignment, the first time, just like last year, October. But then, of course, with the help of our personnel here, I'm trying to adapt also what my new assignment, because my previous assignment were more on operative and also an investigation as well, and intelligence. So most of my training is not are not more on WSPD, but more on other field of policing, no, like intelligence investigation, like that. But anyway, since we cannot choose our assignment, and while assigning here now in WCPD, of course, we ought to learn what we have to, because this is now my present assignment. Well, anyway, first of all, I would like you to know that giving you this lecture is one also of our advocacy, of course, to let the audience or the other people be oriented, especially about this law, RA 9262. This is especially for our women and children, no? So I hope that with a small amount of time, you can learn something. Bisan gamay lang, basta you can always remember na yun, and after this, you know what to do if ever you are a victim of this kind of this kind of violence. You know already, after this lecture, you know already what to do. Okay, so let me share now my presentation. Nawala. Ay, akong paano. Can you now see my presentation, sir and ma'am?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So let me proceed. Nilagay ka ang live for a while. Okay, my topic for today is about Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children, Act of 2004, Republic Act 9262. Okay. At the end of this lecture, hopefully the audience or the participants will be able to learn and these following objectives. You can naka-lecture. Mutawag lang ko naka-lecture. Mutawag ko niya. Ako mato niya. So at the end of this lesson plan, the participants will be able to explain the salient provisions of Anti-VAUSI Act, enumerate the role of PNP in handling VAUSI cases, define protection order, discuss different kinds of protection orders, recognize the juries and barangay officials and law enforcers in enforcing the protection order, and identify the role of law enforcers in implementing protective custody of children. So this is my sequence of presentation. Introductions, of course, the offended party, who are considered as offended party, the offender or the offender of this particular law, forms of violence under this Republic Act, then the punishable acts. What are those specific punishable acts in this law? Then remedies available to the offended party. Okay, who may file a petition for protection order, venue of complaint, duties of the Filipino police officers, and protecting the Filipino police officer in the line of duty. So first, who are the offended party of this act? Offender. Offended party. In both cases, who is the offended party? Okay, number one, the woman pertained, it's in this law may be the current or former wife of the violator. Meaning, ex-wife niya, former niya nga wife. No? Second, can be an offended party. No? Can be a victim of this violence. Next, the woman with whom the violator has or had a sexual or dating relationship with, or the woman with whom the violator has a common child. For example, if the woman is an ex-girlfriend, or they have not really, there is no such as dating relationship. However, like for example, one night stand, for example, then nagkaanak sila, so covered siya ani, protected siya ani nga law if ma-complain siya, no? Especially if they have child, no? Then previous live-in partner can be an offended party under this law. So it's not necessarily nga asawa lang yun or present wife. It can be an ex-girlfriend, ex-common law wife, ka-dating relationship lang niya, or even one night stand but they have a child, so can be protected by this law. Okay, the children who may be the victims of violence may be the legitimate or illegitimate child of the woman offended, living with or without the family abode. Now, for example, of course, anak, legitimate na anak, no? O abuse sa father, so protected sila by this law. And also, kanang, let's say, the woman has a previous relationship and naa siya anak sa gawas, then of course, the child is living with her under the present husband or common law husband, like live-in partner, covered gihapon siya aning balaod. Those who are below 18 years of age or older but are incapable, so sa ato sa general provision of the law, who are those children below 18 years old are considered a child. However, even if 18 and above na siya, but naay mga diferensya siya, no? Kanang naay mga like incapable of taking care of themselves, no? Kanang mga ato ang mga special child, no? So under this under the law, considered as child na siya, and he or she is protected by this particular law and other related laws for children protection. So kinsa may mga offender could be considered as offender under this act. So unlike the offended party who must be a woman ra gyud tong siyang offended party. Ang offender can be a man or a woman, because as we all know, na naman tayo mga LGBT karon, and So naa naman tayo mga relationship na both sexes, pero ang both the same sexes, dili na siya ma-apply. This cannot be applied to like gay couples, no? Gay couples. Kay ang like what I said, ang atong offended party, woman gid siya, no? So kung sa offender, so pwede siya LGBT, pwede siya woman sad ang offender, like mga LGBT na to nga couple, lesbian and female jud, no? So can be an offender of this under this act. So dili lang lalaki ato ginatiman-an, but also nga ang babae, no? Next. Okay, the offender should be related to the victim by marriage, former marriage, or dating or sexual relationship. So very explanatory kaayo na. Then considered as dating relationship when the parties live as husband and wife without the benefit of marriage, kanang mga common law spouses nato na sa mao na atong kuan. Then kaning boyfriend girlfriend, lesbian partners, so kana siya, pwede na siya nga na offender. They are already romantic involved over time and on continuing basis during the course of relationship. So naagid sila yung relationship, no? Dili lang sila acquaintances. So naagid i-prove good nga naa sila relationship. And then sa atong mga offender nga appeal sa offender nato is katong mga conspirators, no? So the law explicitly recognizes that the acts of violence against women and their children may be committed by an offender through another. So katong mga conspirator. So pwede sad ang conspirator mababae or malalaki. Like for example, the husband himself do not personally inflict injuries, but he asked somebody to do it on his behalf. So kato, even if a stranger to siya, it can be considered an offender under this act. It's like any crime, no, ang mga conspirators na to, appeal po na siya sa kuan, mga offenders, no? Section 5 of RA 9362, the crime of violence against women and children is committed through unsa man engaging in forceful, knowing or reckless conduct personally or through another. So mao na siya. So mao na siya nga naadjud siya expressly provided by this act yun, in this act kanang mga conspirators. Okay, pwede man makommit sa mga principal violators ang act of violation through another, no? So what are the forms of violence? We have 4 forms of violence: physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence, economic abuse. So dili lang yun di ay kanang physical ra, no? You still have other 3. Para for the information of everybody, daghan siya, maigo tanan ang mga kung bisag unsa nga form of violence, maigo gyud siya ani. Okay, unsa man ang gitawag natong physical violence? So it refers to acts include bodily or physical harm. So self-explanatory man ni, kanang kusion ka, sumbagon ka, sagpaon ka. Ang kana gyung sagpa, sirs and ma'am, no? Ang diferensya gid anang sagpa ug sumbag. Ang sumbag can be committed out of anger, pero kung sagpa na gani, anger with humiliation na gid na sa biktima, no? Murag imong i-humiliate ang biktima, sagpa. Next, sexual violence. Unsa man siya? Refers to an act which is sexual in nature committed against a woman or her child. Ito na explain unsay mga acts, specific acts under this one. form of violence. Psychological, of course, refers to acts or omissions causing or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of the victim. The last one, economic abuse, refers to acts that make or attempt to make a woman financially dependent. Okay, so let's proceed to specific acts kung saan mga punishable acts. Okay. Causing physical harm to the woman or her child. So that is physical violence. So that is punishable by law. Like what I said, anything na imo-inflict kag injury in any form to the victim, mauna siya considered as physical violence. Then threatening to cause the woman or her child physical harm. So imong hadlokon, like i-threaten mo ang babae, threaten. Kita mga babae, threaten ta through nga, sige, pag di nimo ni buhaton, makakita gyud kag unsaon ako ng imong anak. So that is a psychological offense, no? Forms of violence, no? Psychological. Attempting to cause the woman or child physical harm, attempt hana-hanaan. Okay? Hana-hanaan nimo. So that cause also is psychological. That also constitute a psychological violence. Then placing the woman or her child in fear or imminent physical harm, no? Imong iprisohon or i-lock up, no? I-lock up nimo, di nimo pa sobra kasiluso ang lalaki, husband or live-in partner or boyfriend, and then prisohon niya ang mag-ina. So that is punishable. And attempting to compel or compelling the woman or the child to engage in conduct which the woman or her child has the right to desist from. For example, karon uso man karon ang atang kanang mga anti-trafficking, mga online sexual exploitation. There are some mga sad to note na that is happening, no, na ultimo ato ang mga husband or mga live-in partner moay mo traffic, no, moay mo sell through online sa ilang yang asawa or the child just to get money, no, which is dili gusto. Siyempre, that is a big violation of this act or other acts atong mga trafficking na apa. So covered sa taana, that is also a law na protect sa mga women and children, no? So another thing, kanang like for the woman, she wanted to get employed or to work kay dili inap ilang sustento, then dili siya tugtan. Di siya tugtan manarbaho, but that guy or the husband or common law husband or boyfriend, dili sila tagag enough sufficient financial support. Di siya niya patrabahoon. So that is economic deprivation. Gusto niya dependent sa iya ang babae. So that is a form of abuse, no? Na sa economic, that falls for economic abuse. Inflicting or threatening to inflict physical harm oneself for the purpose of controlling her action or decisions. Okay, so that is self-explanatory. Then causing or attempting to cause the woman or her child to engage in a sexual activity. Ako na nang gikuan lecture discussed earlier. So not necessarily nga rape, no? Not necessarily nga rape. Like katong mga online sexual exploitation, no? Then by force or threat by force by physical harm. So like for example, so di nimo ni buhaton, imo siyang dagmalan or imo siyang i-lock up, anything that is detrimental to the child and the mother.
Like dito na.
Kaya di ba tayo, I told you, nga nagpupod sa to, kaya ando lang ko, gidugo po niya.
Lagi abi na ko dugon ko the next day.
Implantation dito ang blood.
Yeah, how did you find out?
Kuan ma'am. Kay last month, weird kayo kay never have I tried na. It was very early.
I
Nya,
think
ang
na
schedule na
istorya.
early kay akong period.
Last,
oh,
period ka last month.
June 1. Dapat June 3 man ko. It's either June 3 or
Sa mo to na yung kanabang ura ka mahuman.
Oh.
Katong pagato nato.
Oh. So it's either June
Ma'am, and
3
sir,
or
murag na
June
pa'y
4,
nag-istorya?
June 5, ana dapat. Pero June 1 ana siya, akong period niya. Pero normal gid siya na period, abi na kog implantation or whatever.
Okay, are we good now, ma'am and sir?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. And then another punishable acts under this law. Engaging in forceful, knowing, or reckless conduct personally or through another which alarms or causes substantial emotional or psychological distress to the woman or her child. So, kanang mga naatay na isuguon sa suspect, sa lalaki na sila isuguon, i-stalk niya ang mag-ina or ang babae or ang anak, i-stalk niya, pasunod-sunuran para mahadlok, kanang murag sait-saitan nga as in murag isaywar niya through look, no? Kanang mga manifestation na i-threaten nila through actions ang mag-ina, so that is also punishable under this act. Causing mental or emotional anguish, public ridicule or humiliation o pakauwawa niya ang yang asawa or yang kalibin or yang ex-girlfriend, kanang wife, and then or the child, no? Iya pakauwawa niya, that is punishable. So dili ta basta-basta mga babae, bastos-bastoson lang ta sa atong mga karelasyon or mga ex nga karelasyon. Kay wala sila katungod ana, unprotected na ta ani nga lo. Sa una wala pa ni karon na ana. Okay. Then important, acts of violence must be stated with clarity in a sworn statement or petition for issuance of temporary and permanent protection order. So kung unsa, whatever offense committed or violation, i-state nyo dito with clarity what kinds of violence. Giunsa siya, for example, physical violence, giunsa man dai siya, gipatiran siya, gisumbag siya, or gidunggab siya, or if with physical violence, automatically naagid na ang atong psychological, no, violence, emotional to ana, no, matreten ta, so that's psychological already. So magkakuyog gid na sila, no, not necessarily with the economic, no, kay na may uban nga bisan abuse sila physically, psychologically, but tungitan ra og kwarta, no, tungitan ra kwarta, something like that. So kana yung atong violence, physical and emotional, psychological, kan gyud na siya, magkuyog gyud na siya. Mao na nga every time na atay, if we have cases like this, we always we are always send the victim to the pink room for psychological evaluation, no? And that is one of the requirements also in filing the case. Okay, so if you have questions, pwede nyo erase karon, but if you can also reserve that after the presentation. So what is protection order? Okay. Protection order is an order issued under Section 8 of our legislation for the purpose of preventing further act violence against a woman or her child, granting any necessary relief. So this is an immediate action. This is an immediate remedy in order to immediately respond to the needs of the victims that she will be and the child be protected from further harm, no? For example, ongoing ang mga violence, so kinahanglan ta og protection order sa para nga dili na siya magpadayon, ma-stop na ang violence. So there are types of protection order. Naatay ito criminal, no? Then this criminal case kani mag-file tag kaso, pailan na tong kaso, no? So a violence against women and other children is a public offense. So meaning, if it is public offense, kay public offense man siya, it may be initiated upon the filing of a complaint by any person having personal knowledge of the circumstances involving the commission of the crime. So not necessarily kung mahadlok ang offended party, ang victim, mahadlok siya, pwede ra gyud lain tao ang mo-file sa kaso as long as nga naa siya personal knowledge of the circumstances, kung naunsa-unsa ni tabo na agyud sa igong kahibaw, no? Concrete knowledge of what is happening, no? So pwede ra gyud ato na later kung kinsa gid mga tawanan nga pwede sa mutabang aside from the woman herself, no? Kay naamay mga situation wherein the woman cannot file a case because gikuan siya, di siya kabaro, kin-hospital siya, or gilock up siya, manawag ra siya, so ingon ana, no? Na yung mga instances ingon ana. Then, sa civil case, di ba natay, sa civil case na to, kaya to criminal man to ganina, ito mo file tag kaso, kaning atong another remedy is civil, mao ni siya ang kuan kaning remedy na ma-avail nato for protection sa biktima, no? Kaning gitawag nato og temporary protection order o permanent protection order. Ato na siya ko kanon unsay diferensya ana later. Ug naa sad tay barangay protection order, pero kanang barangay protection order temporary sad na siya. Okay. Unsa may purpose sa atong mga protection order? O wa patay kaso gi kuan file or even atay kaso or na siya magduol-duol. So ang purpose ani para ma-prohibit nato ang respondent from threatening or committing personally or through another any of the acts mentioned in Section 5 of this Act. So, mo na siya ilang mga immediate remedy nato, buhaton nato. Kay ang criminal case man good, upon filing, wala tay mga, it will take years, it will take a long time, kay mag-hearing pa, schedule pa ang hearing. But with this mga immediate remedy nato para maprotektaan, mo ni siyang mga ang biktima. So we have these mga protection orders. So ana siya ang purpose nganong magpatag mga protection order, no? Prohibiting respondent from harassing, annoying, telephoning, contacting, or otherwise communicating with the petitioner. Petitioner kanang atong biktima. Ang respondent mao na ang kanang offender. So directly or indirectly. Then, removing and excluding respondent from petitioner's residence, regardless of its own ownership under temporarily, either temporary for the purpose of protecting. So, bisan pa o nagtipon sila or bisan pa ang ilahang balay, ilang abod is owned by the offender, pwede ra gyud na siya papahawaon temporarily sa ilang balay, no? Na nakabutang gyud na dire dili man ka, the victim could not say that I cannot stay here because this is not our house, it's my husband's house or live-in partner's house. So dili, the law says na pwede ra gyud temporarily na papahawaon ang violator or offender. So a civil complaint may be filed with the court for the issuance of temporary protection order, TPO, or permanent protection order. Kaning kuan man good, we will discuss this later, no? So, sa may gusto nimo may tabo nga di sa ka gusto makikita sa offender, you don't want to see him roaming around threatening you, no, annoying you, so pwede ato state tanan natong gusto nga relief, nga gusto nato nga mabutang sa ato ang protection order ibutang para to prohibit the offender from doing so. Directing lawful possession and use of petition of an automobile and other essential personal effect regardless of ownership, and directing the appropriate law enforcement officer to accompany the petitioner to the residence of the parties to ensure that the petitioner is safely restored to the possession of the automobile and other essential personal effect, or to supervise the petitioners or respondents' removal of personal belongings. So pwede rasad the victims will be accompanied by any police officer pagkuha sa iyang mga personal effects, no? If ever siya gyud ang mupahawa sa balay unsay mga kuan, then kuyugan na sila og police or barangay tanod. It depends on the threat, no, the gravity of the threat. So kuyugan gyud na sila. And then also, pwede ra gyud mag-grant ang kuan, temporary or permanent custody of a child to the petitioner, no? Dili gina pwede nga to sa offender mo, like kung papa jud, but na ay mga bata, you know, ato mag-define earlier who are considered children, ato gyud sa inahan, no? So directing the respondent to provide support to the woman and or her child if entitled of legal support. Notwithstanding other laws to the contrary, the court shall order an appropriate percentage of the income or salary of the respondent to be withheld regularly by the respondent's employer for the same. Respondent or katong offender na siya. So the court will determine, no, how much will be given, the amount of support to be given to the victims, no. Kapag pwede nato ibutang sa atong protection order, prohibiting the respondent from the use of or possession of any firearms or deadly if ever legitimate kuan siya, no, kanang gun holder, no, naman tayo mga lalaki nga mga gun holder, mga licensed gun holders. So pwede na nato i-ask sa court, no, ordering him to surrender the same to the court, the gun to the court for appropriate and disposition by the court, including revocation of license. Ma-revoke ang license, so at ipabutang disqualification to apply for any license to use or possess firearms. So naaman tayo mga policies sa PNP, kay naaman tayo sa PNP for the renewal of firearms. So pwede rin na siya i-manifest sa petition nga i-revoke ang iyahang kuan kay abusado siya. Pwede rin na i-disqualify siya for any application of license to possess firearms. Restitution for actual damages caused by the violence inflicted, including, okay, ana ato sa na i-ask dito, i-allege na nato, i-ask na nato dito sa korte na ikatong mga damages, mga property, ipabayaran sa offender, no? Mga expenses kung nasakit or na mga hospitalization, bayaran sa offender. Okay, so directing the disabled or inappropriate agency to provide petitioners temporary shelter. Kundi walay ka atuan, walay mga relatives, walay mga kapuy-an ang mga biktima, naata mo ato tas dool ta sa DSWD kay sila ang mga temporary shelter sa atong mga biktima. So di jud mahadlok no nga kuan kay basing mo ingon wa kay kapuy-an di ka taga diri naa jud mutabang na ay mga kuan mga agency nato nga mutabang ani. Another, providing such form of relief as the court deems necessary to protect and provide for the safety of the petitioner and any designated family or household member, provided petitioner or any designated family or household member consent to such relief. So if ever the court will determine kung asa unsay mga relief, unsay mga remedy na ihatag ika-offer ang kuan court. So as long as nga mo consent mo okay ang ato ang mga biktima ato ang mga offended party ihatag na i-grant na siya sa court. Okay, important, issuance of or pending application of BPO does not prevent the complainant from applying for the court from granting a TPO, okay, or PPO. Okay, ako nang i-explain, okay? Kaning BPO, barangay protection order, mao gyud niya ang first na ato mabuhat before going to the court kay mao may duol sa ato sa ato sosyedad no within a barangay. So for example, naisamok diha na threatened kaayo ang babae o na child excuse me, threatened siya. So pwede ra gyud dayon siya mga og barangay protection order. Even though na-isyuhan na ang biktima o barangay protection order, dili na siya maka-prevent from getting a temporary protection order sa korte. Kay sa katong temporary and permanent protection order ato man nato kuhaon sa korte, no? So una gyud pinakauna to prevent dayon to prevent the further harm to be inflicted sa atong biktima diha dayon marespondihan ato. So una gyud ato pa ngayon ang BPO, no? Kay even though naa tay BPO dili na maka-prevent, no? It's not a bar for the complainant to seek a temporary or permanent protection order sa court. Okay. Against whom may protection orders be issued? Protection order may be issued for the purpose of preventing further acts of violence against the woman or her child. May include individuals other than the offending husband, no? Pwede sad katong mga himuan nilang conspirator, no? So go. Prohibition of the respondent from threatening to commit or commit personnel through another any of the acts mentioned. So muna para malikaya nato na katong mga kuan mga conspirator di na sad pwede makaduol-duol sa biktima, no? Muna ibutang gid na sa ato ang protection order. So that kay if the conspirator dili appeal, so the offended party the respondent, the offender rather, can still commit abuse, threat through another person. So interpretation i-include yun na ang mga tao nga conspirator na di na pwede makaduol-duol. Sa pa may purpose aning atong barangay protection order. Of course, prohibition of the respondent from harassing, annoying, teleponing ato na nanggikan kanina na. So, ano ni atong types of protection order? Barangay protection orders, temporary protection orders, permanent protection orders. BPO issued by punong barangay or in his absence by the kagawad. It orders the offender to desist from committing or threatening physical harm. Maunay purpose sa issuance sa barangay protection order. Like what I said, this is the very immediate or remedy to prevent further harm in case there is an ongoing infliction or ongoing kind of violence, no? It can also has a lifespan of 15 days. So 15 days na siya effective ang barangay protection order. Enough ra pud na nga makapile ta sa korte. Then if not the harm or the violence still ongoing, no, mo resolve into filing with TPO or PPO sa korte. Di ko tayo sa barangay man to, PPO barangay level na siya. Then ongoing pa gyud ang violence, so musik na ta dito sa korte. Kaya this two, the temporary and permanent protection order, adto ni siya sa korte. Ganong na ay temporary o permanent, it's because ang kaning PPO manggod permanent, kinanglan hiringon pa ni siya, no? There should be a hearing, so both parties ipatawag pa sa korte. So whereas ang temporary, it's the kuan lang offended party. Pwede offended party ray mo ato mga yo ana, while waiting for the permanent protection order. Na nang discuss kanina na balik-balik mo yung sorry. Yan ni siya. So kani, where to apply for BPO? Application for BPO shall follow the rules of venue as provided by Section 409 of the Local Government Code, no? So disputes between persons actually residing in the same barangay shall be brought for amicable settlement before the lupon of said barangay. If you the offender and the offended party is just residing in the same barangay, so dito ra sa ilang barangay sa mga yung PPO. Ever the victim and the offender are residing in different barangays, no, of the same city or municipality, so adto sa barangay sa respondent i-file ang protection order. Again, adto kung they are living in different barangays but same municipality or city, kung asa nagpuyo ang offender, dito i-file ang barangay protection order. So unsa may mga duties of barangay officials and law enforcers? Ini sa police or atong mga tanod or atong mga barangay officials. So number one duties nila is to respond immediately to a call for help or request for assistance or protection of the victim by entering the dwelling if necessary, whether or not a protection order has been issued, and ensure the safety of the victim. So if ever, bisag wala pa na, even if there is no barangay protection or any protection orders yet, if ever there is an ongoing violations, no, like nagkagubot na sila inside their dwelling, pwede ra gid na sudlon sa ato ang kapulisan, no? Pwede ra ingon aning nga balaod, pwede ra gid musud. It's not basig na may nadunggan nga ano nga ni sud dito ang pulis nga nagkagubot naman to nga kay kuan basig kihaan, like ang mga offenders na ilang hadlokon nga kihaan nila og kuan kanang sayangan ani kaning violation of domicile, so kanang mga trespassing ana ikuan nila kihaan dili kay under this law nga basta na ongoing nga mga violations inside the kuan house, pwede ra gina sudlon sa mga kuan mga atong mga law enforcers. Mao na ang balaod kay magpatay niya dito, mahuwatan na to, mapatay na dito sa ilaw, di ta ka responde o di ta kay mahadlok ta mo sulod kay kihaan ta. o violations of the domicile. Okay? So pwede ra na may kaila, pwede ra gyud na manawag sila police, musod lagi na basta naa dito ongoing ang violence. Then kung pa pwede buhaton sa mga pulisan or other law enforcement agency is confiscate ang deadly weapon if ever ang perpetrator is na ay weapon as long as it is within the plain view, meaning nakita ra dayon, no, without necessary effort ba imo pang pangitaon, pag nakita ra dayon, that is the doctrine of plain view doctrine, no. Now inikita nimo wa nimo tuyo nakita nimo, mao na siya pasabot sa plain view. So confiscate dayon. Transport or escort the victims to a safe place of their choice or a clinic or hospital. So makasabot na taan no. Assist the victim in removing personal belongings from the house. Okay, for example, the victim is nakadagan siya, di ba siya taputra sa lawas yang so napay siya kinahanglan ko ano yung mga gamit dito. So i-assist na siya, kuyugan na siya, escortan na siya og barangay tanod or police, no, pwede ra gyud kinaagi na sa balaod. Also assist the barangay official and other government officers and employees who respond to call for help. So for example, ang mga barangay officials lang ang naa dito, then or other kinsay nagakuyog dito, kinahanglan gyud nga tabangan, no, you have to call for help also kung dili nila kaya. Then ensure the enforcement of the protection orders issued by the punong barangay or by the courts. So unsa pay lain mga mga duties sa barangay officials and enforcers, kinahanglan ato i-guide, no, we will guide the victim na magkuha gyud og protection orders, explain to them unsay purpose sa protection orders, no, i-explain na naatay mga immediate remedy nga ma-prevent ang further harm. So explainan, i-assist if necessary kay nakita nimo within the context of kanang review na nakita nimo dito nga ongoing ang violence sa pagpanag, like for example inflicting injuries, any form of infliction, so pwede dayon madakop na nato ang perpetrator. So mao na duty sa barangay officials or police, even citizens, kaya naaman tayo gitawag na citizens arrest, no, na pwede maka-arrest ang citizen basta ongoing nakita ang violations, nakita din so pwede ra gyud na siya maka-arrest sa perpetrator without warrant. Usa na siya, that is one exemption sa warrantless arrest. Then immediately report the call for assessment or assistant to the DSWD social. Importante sa ato kaning DSWD or any accredited NGOs. We have different accredited NGOs here nga nagtabang sila sa atong mga abuse, no, abuse women, no, na adis ato then most of them are accredited by the DSWD. So pwede ra gyud ta dito sa DSWD for then wala tay ka ato ang lain, wala tay kasilungan, so matabang sila. We have mga mga shelters nga mga NGO. Protection order issued by the court on the date of filing of the application after expired determination that such order should be issued. A court may grant a TPO any sum of other relief mentioned. So mana after the hearing, kung gusto gyud nimo nga permanent ang imuhang protection order, so mao na after sa hearing i-grant na sa korte. Then at the time na ma-issuean og permanent protection order. The temporary protection order has its effect for 30 days, no? Then renewable siya, renewable. Punanay particular kuan final judgment nga kuan sa temporary permanent, so you will be issued a permanent protection order. So like what I said, issuance of protection order after notice and hearing, no? Sa korte. Manay pinaka-last. Then how to apply for a TPO or PPO? Sa bato na to. It must be in writing, of course, signed and verified under oath by the applicant. Okay, by the applicant. A standard protection order application form is written in English with translation to the major local languages. Katong atong mga kaigsuonan nga kuan ra gyud sila katong atong local languages ra gyud, so naa ato ang kuan naa sa translation. And it contains the following information: names, of course, names and address of petitioner. Petitioner meaning the victims or the offended party, and respondent, the offender. Next, description of relationship between petitioner or respondent, husband and wife, ex-common law husband and wife, ex-girlfriend, anak. Then, a statement of circumstances of the abuse. So, what kind of abuse? Giunsa ka? Unsay mga abuse nga gi-inflict sa imuha, butang gyud siya tanan, no? I-allege yun dito tanan. Okay, that is the basis of the issuance of protection orders. So, description of the relief requested by petitioner. Unsay gusto nimo mahitabo? Unsay gusto mahitabo sa biktima? For example, di na ko gusto makakita niya, ma'am. Okay, butang dito. Dili ko gusto, ma'am, nga na ay magtawag-tawag pa siya nako. Mag-message, butang dito. Dili na ko gusto nga pagduol-duol siya, pakita-kita sa mong balay. Butang dito. Gusto na ako nga kaya na siya armas, gusto na ako nga kuan nang iyang armas, kuan nang iyang revoke ng iyang license. Or di na siya makadadag armas, pwede butang dito. Gusto na ako nga muhawa siya sa mong balay, butang dito. Any relief na gusto sa biktima, ibutang sa kuan kanang application. Then, request for counsel and reason for such. So, pwede sad na imabutang nga gusto ka mangayo ka o kanang mo undergo ka og counseling. So, para i-refer dayon ka sa mga counsel, mga kanato, mga kanang like mga sa SWD na sila mga social workers na matag counseling, katong mga authorized nga mo counsel. Okay? Then, butang sa nimo dito, request for waive application fees until hearing. So, kung naibayranan, pwede sa nimo, di sa kakabayad, butang sa nimo dito. Butang sa nat sa biktima. Then, an attestation that there is no pending application for protection order in another court. Of course, kuan jud na siya, kanang requirement jud na siya nga, wala kay certification to attest na wala pa kay lain, wala kay pending nga kaso, the same nga kaso sa lain nga korte. Back to the TPO and PPO, this is again, this is a civil action, no? Civil remedy ni siya. Praying for issuance of TPO may be filed in regional trial court, metropolitan trial court, municipal trial court, municipal circuit trial court where the petitioner resides. So, muna to timanan. So, jurisdictional na ay mga jurisdiction by court. If we have family court, designated family court, add to a file. Pero kung wala, mauna nang naasa babaw. Pili lang kung asa ka mabilong. Then where to apply for criminal is filed where any of the elements of the, okay. Not like sa kuan, sa TPO or PPO, gihatag na to ang katong mga like barangay, kung asa ang offender nagpuyo, dito ka mo file sa ato ang PPO, no? Then sa atong criminal action, if ever mo file of criminal action, kung asa, where is the crime is committed or was committed, dito na to i-file. For example, sa Cebu City, dili po sa Cebu City na to i-file ang criminal action. For example, dito sa province ta, natay mga municipal circuit court, dito sa kung asa na bilong. Kay by jurisdiction man sa ang atong korte, no? So adto dito. Kung natay family court, ito siya ay family court. For example, dire in Cebu City, we have one family court here. So ang taga Cebu City, dito siya sa family court ma-file. Sa province, nasa I think one family court somewhere in the north siguro. So ato sa dito ang sa province. So who is entitled for the custody of children? For example, na imamoy mga bata. The woman victim of domestic violence shall be entitled to the custody and support of her children. So, naagyod sa babae, no, dili pwede ingnan sa the husband or the offender cannot say na, oh, she has no means of livelihood. She cannot provide the children's with food, education, or whatever. So, gusto niya kuhaon ang mga bata? No. Generally, dito gud na sa victim. So, kung wala ika-support ang biktima, iyang suportaan sa offender. No? So, ingon ana, unless nga na ay mga compelling reasons nga nung dili pwede ang mga bata sa mga ginikanan, sa mga mother. Okay. Children with disabilities below 7 years old or older but with mental or physical disability shall automatically be given to the mother with the right to support unless court finds compelling reasons to order otherwise. So kung may mga compelling reasons na dili gid pwede dito, for example na disoriented or na psychologically disturb ang mother or na ay mga psychiatric issues. So, mo na mga compelling example of some compelling reasons nga nang dili pwede ang mga bata maato sa mother. A victim who is suffering from battered woman syndrome shall not be disqualified from having custody of her children. So, kani atong mga battered wife syndrome, kani bitang paulit-ulit na lang ang mga abuse, nga battered siya, tapos murag na usay mawa na sa huna-huna. So, ingon gid ang balaod nga dili na siya a reason that the mother shall be disqualified from the custody of her children. What are the rights of victims of domestic violence? Sa may katungod niya ang mga biktima. So they have the right to be treated with respect and dignity. So dili kay victim siya of violence ato siyang discriminate sa society, no? We will not give respect na kay kuan man na siya kanang kulatado man na siya, mag-IBI na lang sad. So dili, no? Under this law, they should be treated with respect and dignity despite sa sinitabo sa ilang life, no? To avail of legal assistance from the PAO or the Department of Justice or any public legal office, assistance office. Here in Cebu City, we are very fortunate kina ates like Law Inc. that they can provide legal services for free. So, kung may nakailhan nga mga victims of violence na they don't want to pursue the case, kaya was like kwarta, we have some kanang mga NGO na catering legal assistance for the victims. Na wala yung kay bayaran. For the Law Inc., ang head nila si Dr. si Attorney Virginia Palanca Santiago, if you could still remember, Mia, no? So, siya may head ng Law Inc. Okay, what else? To be entitled to support services from the DSWD LGUs under the family code. Mga na atong mga single mother, nagyod na sila yung mga benefits, madawat, mga single mother, na sila. And they are also entitled sa support. No? Then, to be informed of the rights. I remember sa education, sa DepEd, sa teachers ng mga professions. Sa una, very sila, no? Very, like for example, if ang babae mabuntis, ilan na dahil tangtangon, kay para nila immoral ilang kuan sa una sa society. Pero nowadays, dili na protected na. These single mother are already protected sa law. Mo na nga dili na gyud sila matangtang even if nga mabuntis sila, single mother sila, nga wala sila without the benefit of marriage, no? So mo na ng kalahian karon kay protected na ang atong mga kababayanan. Then, to be informed of the rights and the services available to them, including the right to apply for protection orders. Of course, ato gyud ni mo na we have mga information disseminations, mga advocacies ingon ani, so that we can also educate women, all women, na there can be a remedy just in case they are abused, no? They are abused. So, unsa may duty sa PNP?
Miss Fe, Police Lieutenant Fe, sorry, we're running out of time. Is it possible if we can wrap up?
Okay. So, ang duty
Thank
nato
you.
sa PNP for filing petition ay mabuo raman ay no? Sorry. Kay this lecture mo gudi ay kuan man gudi taas. Okay. So unsa mga duty sa PNP? Filing for the petition, a petition order pwede if the complainant cannot be, then filing of the criminal complaint kana. No? Then filing for the petition or protection order, tabang sa kuan in case dili able ang biktima. Okay. So ato na nakuan. Naman ang discuss. Okay. So, mato tabangan pag sa kaso, no? Ato na lang ni kani mga unsay must be alleged in the criminal complaint. Of course, all the violation incurred by the offender shall be stated in the criminal complaint. Ang violation, particular violation of the law. Okay, kani mga mga data na niya kung what are the. Okay, automatic na siya. First, butangan to sa pangan sa offense, asa na po. Then, familiar to the provision of the 1962. Mo na nga mga posibility na adi mga specialized training, no? To respond the needs of kanang violence cases. Basic cases. At ang kaning balaod sad na mga balaod nga gibutang sa dire kung unsa ang mga balaod nga protekted sa mga that protect police officer nga mo respond og mga violence mga basic cases, no, violence against women and children. Kay katong pwede sila makasulod dayon agad na dito bisag wala sila warrant, mutud sila basta ongoing ang violence. Okay. Then ang complainant sad mo execute of quit claim para ma-release ang atong police officer from any liability in responding the violence. Okay, sa technical na nina aspect, you can ask na later. when the complaining victim and the alleged offender agree to have the complaint dismissed, dili siya pwede ha, kaya di ni pwede gid nga na atay settlement sa PNP. Okay? Wala tay settlement sa PNP. Okay. Learning points na to, Anti-Vowsy Act identifies the offended party, the offender, the different forms of violence, and the punishable acts. Ito na itong discuss. The remedies, of course, katong BPO na to. For civil remedies, we have BPO, TPO, and PPO. Okay. For the criminal, we have to file a criminal complaint. Okay. Sige, maaari na ma'am sa questions, kanay mga pangutana.
Police Lieutenant, we have a question from the Zoom chat box. It's can the barangay's officials, citizens who responded possibly be prosecuted for trespass for dwelling for entering the dwelling despite no protection order?
Yes, dili sila pwede ma-charge na na-discuss na to earlier na dili once responding in ongoing violence inside the house even wala protection order, dili sila pwede makakihaan under this law.
Okay, thank you. We have another one. It's about when can you consider it violence if our parents are saying that it's just a form of discipline?
Giving discipline to the children, you can always give minimal like if ever you inflict physical injury as a form of discipline, it's not too much, no? Very minimal good, and it is not considered as abusive. Only the child, if the child you want the child to be corrected, minimal ra gyud, but it's not a form of abuse is balik-balik na, and then over siya extreme siya in inflicting injuries sa bata. Extreme na siya. Very minimal ra gyud, and it's not habitual also.
Okay. So right now, since we're a little short on time, we'll just wrap up. We can go back later if ever we have further questions. So
Yes.
Thank you again, Police Lieutenant Fe, for that very informative talk and for reminding us of our rights.
Yes.
I'd like to present this e-certificate to you. Direct. Sorry. Okay, so we'd like to present this e-certificate to Police Lieutenant Fe Altubar for sharing her valuable knowledge and time during the Teen Connection 2022 Violence is Never a Solution via Zoom, given on the 6th day of July 2022. Signed by Janelle Casas, 2022 JCI Zagwana LO President, and Liza Orbistondo, JCI Zagwana 2022 VP of Internal Affairs. So now I'd like to call on Derek Eunice again to introduce our second and final speaker for today.
Thank you, Bibi Kim. Before I introduce
Thank you.
the speaker, can we take a picture first with Ma'am Fe? If okay, ma'am, let's take a picture na lang before you leave. Okay. May I request everyone please to turn on their camera? Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Ma'am Fe, can you please do our hand sign? We have this hand sign in our organization. It's like a pinky promise sign, like Kimberly.
Just cross your fingers, ma'am.
Okay.
You have your yes, like that.
Thank you. Okay. One, two, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Naalang ko ito bagon nga pangutana for a while ha, kani importante
Yeah,
kayo ni.
sure.
For psychological violence created by the father as a result of his extramarital affairs with another, can we prosecute the other woman as an accomplice to the no. Kung i-prosecute nimo ang other woman, it's not under the law of the vowsy. Dito siya sa kuan kanang kaning opposite sa adultery sa niya sa kaning adultery kung babae ang mga bit, no? Concubinage. Okay. Concubinage siya nga kaso ang pwede concubinage, but in concubinage dili ka makaprosecute nga usa lang ka party kundi ang duha. So kung naa siya, it can be proven nga naagid siya lain kung gusto nila i-prosecute under concubinage, maapil ang babae o ang husband para amahan sa bata, no? But kung maingon ka sa bawsi, ang offender ani psychologically ang bana ra gyud or ang kanang lalaki ra gyud, dili ta maka-include sa babae, no? Dili ta ka-include sa babae ang other woman. So kung gusto include ang other woman, lahi nga kaso katong concubinage if all the evidence warrants in filing the case. So kana siya.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Fe. So before we move forward,
Sorry.
no, thank you. Okay, before we move forward, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of RVP Nike Kagulada, SGAP Padiernos of JC Manila, VP Mark Dennis Oyako of JCI Makati, Sec Sherwin of JCI Davao, and Director Dwayne Young of JCI Manila. So, Direct Eunice, if you could kindly introduce to us our next speaker.
Thank you, BB Kim. So, for our second and final speaker, he is a registered psychologist and a graduate from CMU. And he's also a medical assistant clinical psychology at USC. He is a DOH accredited rehab practitioner and a faculty member of CAS Psychology Department at CMU. Additionally, he's also a PRO of the Philippine Mental Health Association Cebu chapter. He's also a facilitator at Bidley Sale Foundation Incorporated. And lastly, he's an on-call service provider at Legal Alternative for Women Incorporated. So let us all welcome Sir Genesis Tihan.
Ms. Eunice, JCI, to all my students who are here in this meeting, Chief Altobar, good morning. Daghan kaayong salamat. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. So let me just share my screen for my talk. I hope you are seeing the screen share, but I would like to also connect with you since we are actually in a conference. I would like to see blue hearts from you guys in our chat section. A blue heart signifies support. Also support in an advocacy, a brotherly love. If you could share a blue heart, thank you so much for the hearts. Just to also signify that you are still there in the meeting. Thank you. So for today, my talk is about IPV and domestic violence. So we will know the main difference about these two terminologies and all other terminologies. But first and foremost, I would like to also share with you that the most effective form of approach in handling domestic violence cases and trauma patients is actually a trauma-informed kind of approach. So, like for example, how does that differ from a usual connection, a usual communication or transaction? A trauma-informed approach would always be asking permission. No, like for example, pwede ko mangutana if you are in a safe place, no? So ako karon mangutan ako ninyo, am I allowed or do I have the permission to ask you if you are in a safe place, no? And our client somehow would somehow tell us yes, no? Kay there would be a tendency if we would be asking them questions through a call, or if we are talking to them virtually, there might be a tendency that the perpetrator might be around and it's not safe. Okay? So, kana pwede ka mangutana or pwede ko mangutana if naabak kay kuyog na kay kauban karon, no, nga pwede makasupport nimo. So that's actually part of the trauma informed approach, no? You are asking permission from the person each time you would be talking to him or her. Okay. Now, I would like to also emphasize that there are also forms of violence present amongst men and other gender orientation. We are just highlighting here cases of domestic violence in relation to women because we know for a fact that it is actually rising. In fact, during the pandemic, no, nagkataas siya. Now, the objectives of the talk are the following: no, to equip us with the definitions and working knowledge of the key concepts and terms, to inform about the prevalence and the consequence of IPV and domestic violence. So you might be asking, unsa man ang IPV? Unsa man nakalahian na niya sa domestic violence? So we would know later on. And to provide knowledge pertaining to prevention, community activation, or advocacy, existing clinical interventions and application with cases of IPV and domestic violence. I would be sharing with you some inputs from my practice as a service provider and clinical psychologist for Law Inc. or Legal Alternatives for Women Incorporated. And to provide information about forensic and criminal justice issues, although shared earlier by Ma'am Fe, I would just be reviewing some of the important criminal issues, no, in relation to RA 9262. Just to add lang with Ma'am Mary Grace question earlier, kana sa concubinage, ma'am, no, katong just to add lang sa response ni Ma'am Fe, they are also, or most men are saying unfair kining 9262 kay mo favor sa women. Actually kini sang concubinage sa lalaki, sa side sa lalaki nga ipaapil na to ang babae nga iyahang kabit, kuha man ni bag-o man nga study, no, kabitology bitaw. Kanang kuha na siya, kinahanglan nimo ma-prove sad nga they are living in one same kaning domicile or kanang at least na gihouse siya, no, like na mabuto nang i-joke usahay sa mo ang chief legal officer si Ma'am Virgie nga kung kuan ko, no, asawa may bahay, kung kabit may kondo. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me, ma'am. I must have clicked something nga wala siya na share. Okay, sige. So those are actually the objectives. No, I hope you are seeing the slide now. So kato, no, we need to prove nga naa sila or gihouse ang babayi sa usa ka balay or sa usa ka kaning condo or unsa na siyang residence para ma-filean siya concubinage. So if wala, no, like nisod lang sila motel or hotel, then mo na siya ang challenge. Dili inana kadali siya ma-filean og kaso nga concubinage. So mana, no, naay mga loopholes or naay mga challenges actually with the law. Okay? So reminder for self-care too, no? This is also part of the trauma-informed approach. So domestic violence has affected many of our personal lives, no? Although some of us might be directly involved with it, or some people have learned, from other individuals, especially from their loved ones, and it might be difficult to talk about. So please feel free to take a break at any time you think you need to from this discussion. Now, some common terms. No, the victim, we know for a fact that this is the person who is targeted by the perpetrator, who is targeted, no, who is attacked, assailed, in the specific condition or in a specific kining situation. Now, the perpetrator himself is the one who committed the violation against the victim, and the relationship partners, it could be pertaining to a spouse, no, meaning minyo sila, legally married, or it could be uh, a partner, an intimate partner. So mo to ang IP, intimate partner to siya ang meaning, no. Ang IPV, intimate partner violence na siya. So pertaining to married couples or boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. No, sa mo sa giingon ni Ma'am Fe ganina, um, a person could actually file a case even if they are not legally married, just as long as there are witnesses that they have this affair or relationship. No, like for example, neighbors know about the relationship, the relatives know about the relationship. So pwede na siya nga maka-file sila. Okay? Now, nato question ganina, is vowsy just actually exclusive for women, or macharjan ra ba exclusive for men? No, pwede sad na siya for women, no, just like same sex relationships, no, like lesbian, no, kay let's say ang usa ka lesbian ihang gi-attack ang iyang partner, so kana vowsy could also apply, no, with RA 9262 violation, no, so pwede sad na siya. Okay, so I'm just also trying to answer some of the questions present in our chat box. So I hope I am given the permission. Violence, no, as we would actually define it, it's an act of physical force that causes or has the intention to cause harm. Meaning to say, if somebody like your partner has actually resorted to aggression or violence, meaning to say it is premeditated, it is planned. No, there could be a like for example, a perceived imbalance, no, between control and power. No, like ang lalaki ganahan siya nga na siya in control, ganahan siya nga in authority, no. So mo nang nakita niya nga pwede siya mo resort into violence, no, pwede niya sumbagon, no. Wala may iniingon nga gisumbag ang partner niya dayon niya siya, ay sorry nakalitan ra ko, no. So lisod kay na siya ingon nga nakalitan ka niya, nasumbagan ni mo ang other person, no. So aggression is actually an isolated case, but there is that intent to harm the person. It may not lead to traumatic kining sequelae or traumatic consequences. Abuse, on the other hand, would likely cause traumatic malice or traumatic consequences on the victim. Okay? So, mo na siya kung first time lang, that could be a form of person-directed aggression. Pero kung nagbalik-balik na siya, repeated na siya, that is already a form of abuse and a form of violence. Okay? Now, there are two forms of violence according to WHO. First is the unintentional violence, which pertains to accidents or any kining domestic accidents. No, pwede natagakan baron ang bata og baso and unintended na siya, no? Wala siya gi plano. It happened by accident, no? Another form is actually intentional violence. So mo to siya ang kining the physical assaults, the verbal kining verbal aggression, sexual assault, psychological abuse, no, domestic violence, homicide, and many more, many other forms, no. So mo na siya ang two forms of violence. Now, we have the domestic violence, no, which is it actually happens within a common household, no. It could happen between a parent and a child, between siblings, between spouses. No, because it's a domestic violence. No, any two people within the household. So pwede na siya ang mama ni bunal sa iyahang anak. Unya nagsigisag balik-balik, mao na siya ang mahimo na siyang domestic violence or mahimo siyang form of abuse. Pwede sa na spouse, no? Managtiayon. And IPV, on the other hand, it is related sa partner. No, it could be married couple or pwede sad na sila nga boyfriend and girlfriend or sweethearts, no, as we commonly call it. So it's an intimate partner violence and occurring between a romantic partner who may or may not be living together in the same household. But an intimate partner violence could also be a form of domestic violence. No, kay pwede man siya nga with spousal sa spousal nga level, no? So mo na siya ang difference, no, main difference ni domestic violence and ni intimate partner violence. So it could happen between spouses or a romantic relationship between boyfriend and girlfriend, and it could also be considered as a domestic violence, no, because they could be living together or cohabiting, which is common among couples, no, nga ganahan mo test sa waters as a couple, no, as an unmarried couple. So ganahan sila nga mo live sa together or maybe, no, pwede sad ang kuan is na nabuntisan na and then wala pa plans to get married and they are cohabiting. It could be living under the same roof with the respective parents, or it could be they are living separately from their respective parents. Now, gihatag na ni Ma'am Fe, no, earlier, I just want to add nga para mas dali na to siyang matiman-an, no, teacher kayo dating, but let's just remind ourselves, no, with the acronym PEPSI, no, just how the paralegal trainings would be given sa, no, by attorney alay sa Law Inc. So gitawag niya PEPSI. So psychological or emotional violence, no, PE nya P nya S nya wrong spelling lang siya nga PEPSI. But it's an easy for easy recall, no, it's an easy mnemonics for us to be reminded about these forms of violence. So natay psychological or emotional violence, natay physical violence, sexual violence, and economic abuse as added by RA 9262. Now, with psychological or emotional violence, meaning to say there is that tendency for the other person to control the relationship. No, na perceive niya nga na ay imbalance, no? The person might feel that he or she lacks the authority, no, like ato siyang i-relate sa violence against women. The male might actually be perceiving mas powerful ang iyahang girlfriend or mas powerful ang iyang wife. So the control must be taken back, no, to me. So that's why naa siya controlling or restricting the other person or the wife and the child's movement, no, pwede dili niya pagawson. That's a form of psychological violence. So iyang i-lock up, dili pwede makig-interact with other people, no, that's a psychological kind of abuse or violence, causing mental or emotional anguish, no, kanang pakauwawan sad, humiliation or threatening, no, o kanang attempt lang, no, kanabang pag-ana pa lang daan, no, maka-cause man na siya psychological nga reaction, no, meaning wala nag-expect ang wife, no, nga kaya din na niyang buhaton bisag attempt lang, no, kanang ana lang nga pagsumbag or pag-attempt og bash og bolo, no. So kana siya nga mga attempt, no, or pag-threat, no, kanang ingnon nga kitaan giti ka nga na kay laki bantay lang ka, tangtangan ti ka sa ulo, or unsa na ilahang mga common nga terms. So these are also common languages that I hear from clients, no. So kana allowing the victim to witness the physical or sexual or psychological abuse of a member of the family, no, pwede sa iyang anak, no, pakit-on ti ka nga kanay mong anak ako nang gapuson, ako nang ibitay sa nangka ako ng paasuhan, no, mga inana ba, no, makita ang babae, no, or pwede sad na done to pets, no, like ang iro, no, kana ako ng kuanan, ako ng panitan, no. So that could also be counted as a form of psychological violence, no, causing substantial emotional or psychological distress to the woman or her child. Pwede ka ng reckless driving, no, even if kana bang kining mag-drive siya kabaw siya nga naay ang family sud, no, ihang i-threaten nga ako ning ibangga ang sakyanan, no. So that is actually a form of recklessness, no, and that also could count for psychological or emotional violence. Now physical, now we know, no, gi-orienta daan ni Ma'am Fe earlier about this, but it could also be an action or an omission of an act, no, like for example kani sila puro ni sila mga attacking or assailing someone. Pero kaning last two, mo ni siya, no, pwede ni siya ang omission, like leaving the person in a dangerous place. Imong tuyoon ba no nga biyaan siya diha sa kanang kebaw ka nga pwede siya matulis, pwede siya nga mamatay, no, pwede siya i-rob, or pwede siya nga kanang patyon diha, or refusing to help when the person is sick or injured, no, like if they are husband and wife or they are a couple and mo refuse siya, no, sa pag help sa iyang partner, sa iyang wife nga kamatyon nun, or kaning ailing, pwede gina nga ma-cause sad og physical violence, no. So kana sila mo qualify na for physical violence and sexual violence too, no. So daghan kayong ma-shock actually whenever we give paralegal training, especially with married couples, kana bitawng marital rape, no, when the wife doesn't allow the husband, no, to have sexual intercourse or have sex. That's actually something nga kung i-force ni husband nga ma-happen, then that's a form of sexual violence, no, kay wala man siya ning hatag og consent, no, mabito nang naay ka ng phrase nga what is the difference between wanting to eat and wanting to have sex, no. So ang answer ana is consent, no, naagid na siya ang consent kung ganahan ka makighilawa sa imong partner. So even if they are legally married, no, the consent is actually very very necessary. So other forms, no, so we have physically forcing to have sexual intercourse with him when she did not want to, no. So this is for boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. So this is a rape kining condition. But kung married, no, that is marital rape. Physically forcing to perform any sexual acts that she did not want to, no, like kining oral, anal, or unsa pa na nga forms of sex, no, or forcing somebody to view pornographic materials, no, forcing sex when unconscious or under the influence of liquor, no, that is also a form of sexual violence, no. Forcing with threats or any other way to perform sexual acts that she did not want, no, like for example nanay nahitabo nila previously, pwede na sila, they are dating or not, and then i-threaten nga sige kung di ka makig-sex nako balik, I will inform your parents nga dili na ka virgin, no. Common kini actually with kaning younger clients that I used to handle nya, mo na, no, ma-threaten ang babayi, so mo na mo give in na lang siya, no. That is also a form of sexual violence, okay. And then hitting the sexual organ or using objects to hit the genitals, no, like kanang mga unsa pa na nga mga sex toys, no, nga pwedeng ibutang niya sa bisan asa, no, pwede sa genital or pwede sa anus, and that is a violation when there is no consent coming from the person. Or not using any form of protection or condom for protection against pregnancy or STI or STD, no, sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection. So that is also a form of sexual violence, no. So daghan kaayog forms of sexual violence actually. And then economic abuse, no. So mo ni siya ang atong i-draw ang thin line, no. When it comes to economic abuse, for a married couple, kana bang if there is that agreement nga ni agree si wife nga dili siya mo trabaho, then that's okay. No, walay violation nga nag-commit. But when the husband would actually be prodding, no, you are not allowed to work, I would be the one working. Dili man mo agree si wife, ana. No, that is also a form of economic abuse. No, kanabang not giving a legitimate or not allowing the wife to have a legitimate profession, occupation, or even a business or any related activity. No, controlling the woman's own money or property. No, nabutbuot siya og kanang pangawat. No, like kanabang naslay printing business, gikuha ni husband ang printers or unsa pa na nga mga devices, gidaan niya didto kay magtukod siya gihang kaugalingon nga shop kay nagbuwag na sila ni wife, no? So saad kay na nga inana nga mga kondisyon niya kana pwede gid na siya or controlling the money, no? Pwede nga kawaton ni husband ang ATM or ang passbook nila nya it's actually a joint account, no? Nya kana si husband lang ang manginabang, no? That's also a form of economic abuse, no? Or destroying the household property. So, in anything in relation to the deprivation of the wife, no, from living independently, no, through a form of occupation or business, no, that is also a form of economic abuse. Now, when it comes to prevalence of domestic violence in the Philippines, so taas kaayo actually. Now, there is this is a statistics given sometime in 2018. So there is about 52,106,231 females in the Philippines who are victims of domestic violence. It's 1 in every 4, 15 to 49 years old, who experience physical, psychological, and sexual violence by their husbands or their partners. And you might be asking, kanang kanus aman tama for warn nga na ay existing violence nga present sa usa ka babayi. Likely when the woman starts to date somebody, no, likely that is also a signal nga pwede gyud mahitabo sa iya ang form of kaning violence, no nga pwede na siya nga sexual, no, violence kay i-threaten or pwede na siya no nga ang partner kay na red flag ba, no? So in the United States, taas kayo ang prevalence actually of kining sexual violence among dating kining couples. No, while dating pa lang sila, naagi daghan nga maka-experience og sexual nga violence. And then in Region 7, that's actually 4 out of 10. No? So this is also a pressing concern in the society. No, 4 out of 10. Can you just imagine? Upat sa matag na po, no, taas-taas gyud actually. And also the intimate partner violence in the Philippines, no, so for the separated versus the currently married, so with married couples natay 22 versus 52, no, nga separated or widowed. So kaning separated na either naan sila legal separation or some partners are still filing for annulment. No, I am also catering annulment cases, and kana we always educate our clients with the services that we have. No, sometimes we refer them to Law Inc. No, kay sama sa giingon ni Ma'am Fe ganina, the office actually gives kaning opportunities for clients to be helped without also spending. No, so libre iyang abogado, libre iyang psychologist nga mo provide sa report mo adto sa court, mo testify, so wala siya bayaran. Ang gipangayo lang sa Law Inc. is actually the commitment, no, to pursue with the case. Wa ra gyud na, no, nga naa siya during sa hearing, although makasabot ta, no, nga naay anxiety actually present, especially, no, kuyawan siya mo atubang sa court for the first time. Another would be reliving the traumatic experience, no, kay makita gud siya ang perpetrator during sa kaso, no. Can you just imagine, no, if you are to empathize the situation or the condition of the client or the victim, no. So the living children versus walay children versus the 3 living children, there is 18 versus 27. If you are to think sad nga wala man na sa mga dato, no, so tanawa lower half class versus the upper half class there is 30 versus 17. So meaning to say na hapon present, no, even with people, no, from the affluent condition. And then violent fathers versus the non-violent fathers. So na ay 37 versus 21. No? Pwede na yung mga fathers nga dili mo sukol. Nya kaning mga violent man mo ni ang kaning maldito, no, kusog mo sukol sa asawa or kusog sad mandagmal sa mga anak. Okay? So kana no alarming ni sa nga numbers actually. This is sometime in 2018 still, no? So IPV help seeking in the Philippines. No, only 1 out of 3 women who have experienced physical or sexual violence have sought help. No, so there is still that presence, no, of stigma. There are certain factors actually, no, behind it. Later, I would be showing to you some of the factors actually. Nganong ma-stop man ang usa ka babay, no, nga mo report, no, aside from kining the humiliation nga iyang ma-face whenever there is that report done by the police or investigation done by the police. And then women aged 20 to 24 are more likely to seek help, no, than women in other age groups or younger or even older. No, kaning 20 to 24 mas kuan, no, mas proactive din sila when it comes to reporting. And I just would like to also share to everybody nga any form of violence committed by another individual could also be reported through a form of police blotter. No, kana siya dili man na siya kuan, dili man na siya to file a case against, no, at least kabaw ka ba nga kani siya nga person naka-cause ni siya og kanang kining emotional damage or naay incident, no, nga nahitabo and it was properly recorded by the police officer. Kay ngano by the event nga naa na say mahitabo lain, you would go to the police and at least, no, makita sa police officer nga hala, no, nibalik lagi ni nga kuan record, no, so makita ta na didto at least naa siyay na siya'y record, no, nga mo ni siya ang hitabo. Kay mo ni siya police blotter, even medical legal, kasagaran sa amo ang clients or kasagaran sa akong clients wala ani, no, maybe mga 80%, no, so na some 20% nga naa sila yung medical legal, no, pero kana later ato siyang masabtan nga numan nga lisod man for them to also report and continue having incident reports of these forms of violence that they are facing. Now, among women who have experienced violence and sought help, the most common source of help is their own family, 65% na siya. By friends, no, 18%. And how could we be able to extend help, no, especially if or what is the approach di ay kung natay friend nga na victim of violence, no? Dili gid na siya ingon nga uy okay ra na siya ha, no, di gid na madaog gid na nga storya or kanang wala ba nga pray lang gyud ta, no. Statements nga acceptable could be, no, pwede ni siya, no, kanang it is not your fault, it was his fault, no, wala gyud kay sala ato, no, or pwede na siya nga I am here with you, you are now safe. Okay? Unya pwede sad nga I am here with you, no, ayaw pag-ingon sad og mo help ka unya then mawagtang lang kag kalit, no, so ayaw pag-ingon jud ana nga mo na baka nga ditso nga I am here whenever you need me nya dayto nigtawag niya nimo kay wala ka, no, so please be careful, no, with those words. Kana lang jud nga statements or phrases nga you are now safe, I am here with you, dili to nimo sala, or pwede sad ka mangutana pwede ka mo storya nga sorry, no, sorry kaayo na hitabo to nimo, no, so kani nga mga words, no, we need to be kana bang selective, we need to be sensitive with the words that we use with client survivors, no, kay naka-survive man sila, no, they don't remain as victims, no, they are client survivors of traumatic experiences. Okay, so neighbors 10% and 6% of women who have sought help from the police. So kana naay mga gamay nga porsyento, no, gikan sa pag tabang sa police. And then unsa may risk factors of domestic violence and abuse, no? Unsa may mga kung atong i-profile unsa may naaani nila. So people in the relationship, no, we have the perpetrator, the victim, and ang community, ang komunidad. The perpetrator related factors, so we have violence in childhood, likely kani nga mga tao, they have also experienced how it was like to be in a violent kind of domicile or home. And then there is that presence of psychological dysfunction, no? Pwede na siya nga na ay psychological problem daan. So, ato siyang makitaon niya sa iyahang problems, no? Gender role dislocation, what do we mean by that? Kana bitawng ma-transfer og kanang residence, and then it could be in the rural or urban area. Unya maka-feel si husband nga I don't belong here, nganong nibalhin man ko together with my wife or with a partner, and wala man ko'y trabaho diri, di man ko katrabaho, di man ko pamanday, dili man ko ka apply og trabaho or opportunity diri, no, there are no opportunities for employment, and the wife is earning more, and that could be a source, no, of kinibang ego problem, no, because the husband or the partner would always be seeing himself as inferior to the wife or the partner, no. So that is gender role dislocation, no. Dili ingon nga kanang na-dislocate iyang bukog, ha. No, delinquent peers, no, iyang mga kaila or mga amigo, mga manuyupay, mga kusog sad kaayo nga kanang manginom, no. And then violence against other men, no. So pwede na siya nga unayon sa niya mga amigo og kulata, or kanang magstorya bitaw ng mga laki, no, kanang magtagay, no, kanang bay unsa man nimo imong asawa bay nga kanang buutan mo kaya sa nimo, kanang bang naay machismo nga effect nga mo ana gyud nga oh, so ayun patilawon ko na tog tagam gud kana sumbago na to sahay ba para mo tuman na to, no, kanang kuyaw kay mo dagstorya, no, nang nanay influence sa liquor niya murag powerful na kaayo sila, no. Nasa na, no, problematic alcohol use. So likely, no, kani sila nagyud sila alcohol problem or substance use disorder, no, in relation to alcohol. And then attitudes and beliefs, so lahi murabag they believe nga pwede ra sumbagon ang wife kung mag-away, ano, so nainana nga belief. And social demographic factors too, no, especially if na ay problems when it comes to finances, no, na wag tangan trabaho nya init kayo og ulo nya. Kung ato i-profile sa si victim, so na ay risk due to exposure to violence, no. Pwede sad na nga kung ato siyang i-profile, ato siyang i-interview, pwede sad back in her childhood sa ihang kind of home nga ihang gidak-an, they are likely also exposed to parental violence, no, or even domestic violence, no. Child sexual abuse, no, naka-experience sila ana, no, they have witnessed violence, other forms of childhood trauma sad. And then kanang accepting wife beating, no, kana bang imo man gud ng husband, no, kana masuko gyud na siya, no, kay siya man ang padre de pamilya, no. Mo joke sa to si attorney kuan Virgie nga o kinsa may nakapagahi sa imuhang pundasyon bitaw. Anyway, kana siya ang kuan, no, ang lisod, no, katong battered woman syndrome, no. So later makita mo sa unsa nga mga factors in relation nga pwedeng maka-affect, no, sa usa ka wife. Young age, no, bata pa siya, and likely i-allow lang niya ang violence, or kana bang tan-aw niya nga she deserves it, no, kay wala siya na siguro, no, ana ba, wala ko ng laba, wala ko ng limpyo, wala ko ng lungag para niya, na entitlement ang husband nga each time mauli na siya dapat, no, ready na tanan, no. Nasa uban, no, harmful alcohol use, pwede na, no, kanang sige inom niya to a point nga under the influence of liquor, and then naay sexual violence nga nahitabo, no, lack of employment or source of income. So kana in relation to it, pwede sad na siya nga maglisod og biya si wife sa usa ka abusive nga relationship because siya mismo, no, di siya kabuhi sa iyang kaugalingon or di siya kabuhi sa iyang children. Walay lain siya nga makita nga mo support niya, or walay lain nga relatives nga pwede makatabang niya. And having many children, no, kanisad usasad ni, no, kisa may mo bantay siya ra kung mo trabaho siya, kinsa may mabinlan, no. So daghan kaayo nig challenges actually ang babae, no. Mao nang many people would actually tell us nga kanang di man ka mobiya, or the victim, no, tell the victim nga kanang nganong wa man ka nibiya, nganong ni-allow raman ka sa imong self nga i-abuse ka, no, nganong ni-allow man ka nga kanang dagmalan ka sa imong husband. No, it's so easy for us to also tell that to the victim or the survivor, but it's actually a different thing. Actually naa na siya duha ka fear. Example, first nga fear would be the fear of staying, no, kay the violence or the physical abuse might actually happen again, no, na siya i-fear ana. Pero kung mobiya sad siya, na ikaduha nga fear, that's the fear of being kanang followed or kanang stalk siya, ano, kana bang sundon siya asa kuanon niyang Facebook account, adtuon siya sa workplace, no, stalking man na siya, no. So ikaw nga naa sa sitwasyon, or ikaw babae, no, naa ka sa sitwasyon, maglibog yung ka asa man ka ana, no, mobiya ka or dili, kay kung mobiya sad ka, i-stalk ka niya, i-threaten ka niya, pag ayon naa na sa fear nga ma-create, no. So mo na ang nahitabo sa mga babae, lisod kaayo siya, no. So mo ni siya ang cycle of abuse, no, in relation to the battered woman syndrome. So if the tension is building, so mo na siya, no, ang communication kay heated na, and then maka-feel og discomfort ang wife ana, no. And then second would be nanay incident, no, mo na maglalis na sila, nanay intimidation, nanay threats, and then after na reconciliation, na bang na okay na sila, pwede gani ang pagsumbag sa iya, ha, mao na to'y form of reconciliation, no. Naiuban nga mga household ginana nga na resolve lang sila tungod sa violence, and then mukalma na dayon, wala na yung violence then after, or pwede sana siya nga may kay mo undoing ang husband, no. Undoing is actually a defense mechanism, kana bang panglitawhan og balik after iyang nasumbagan ang wife. So maglibog ang babae kay na may reconciliation effort, no, naaman siya gibuhat nga pwede siya ma-win back nya, na ay sudden calmness, no, for about a month or two, walay nahitabo nga incident until such time mo balik sad ang tension, no. So mo na maglibog ang babae, mo nang gitawag nila nga battered woman syndrome, nga makaingon sila nga ang wife no mo ana ba nga kanang I deserve this, kay mo na, no, wa man ko nituman sa akong husband, unya na I learned helplessness, and then na I learned hopelessness, hopefulness. Okay, so if duha ra ka tawo ang naasulod sa usa ka relasyon, nganong apil man ang komunidad sa rason kung nganong dili makagawas ang usa ka tawo gikan sa abusive nga relationship. Ngano man the community is also involved, no, ngano kay ang sa vowsy lahi ni siya, sama sa giingon ni Ma'am Fe ganina, the persons who know about the case could actually file the case against the respondent or against the husband or the perpetrator, no. So pwede na siya, so involved ang psychologist, no, pwede mo file ang psychologist, pwede mo file ang social worker, ang punong barangay, no, nga kaybaw sa case, pwede ni sila mo file, no, in lieu sa wife, no. So mo ni siya ang pwedeng mahitabo. Now community related factors, no, nga nganong maglisod ang wife sad og biya. First is social isolation. Pwede na nga sa first few attempts niya nga mga siyag tabang, efforts went to be nugatory, no, walay kanang way nitabang niya, walay agency, walay bisan kinsa nga pwede nakatabang niya. So naka-feel siya nga alone siya, and that's why naa na ang learned helplessness, no. Uya na ko wa mo gimutabang na ko ani, I am in a cage, no. And then religious factors, no, we know for a fact that in the Philippines, no, majority ang kining Catholics, and then naatay belief, no, nga marriage is a sacred entity and it must be protected, no. Kanang samot na pa joy kanang inana nga mga intervention, no, nga mo remind always nga dai, no, protektahi ang imong pamilya, imong mga anak, no, basin imong bana nag-adjust pa, no. So nay mga inana nga mga factors actually. And another is cultural, no, nga factor nga murabag natay belief in karma nga or destiny baron no nga kana bang in relation to marriage no mao ni siya atong kasangputan no mao gyud ni siya ato ang final nga destination no so naa diha no nag-revolve ang learned helplessness sad no in relation to community related factors. Now, let's go to preventions, no? Okay, gamay na lang sa akong oras, no? Thank you for letting me extend somehow, no, sa ako ang presentation. Now, with the victim, so we have already talked about the battered woman syndrome, no? And, di ba, just to ask lang, no, if you are still there and if you were listening to Ma'am Fe, can a woman be granted with custody with her children even if the woman suffers from battered woman syndrome? Yes or no? Let me see the responses through the comments, no? Okay. Nag-exam na din ko. Online exam. Okay, sige. How about the others? Is it yes? Is it no? Okay, yes. No? So, even if no, naay battered woman syndrome ang usa ka babayi, pwede gyapon siya hatagan og custody. And just to share with you, this is not a psychological condition. No, dili ni siya mental disorder ha ang battered woman syndrome. Dili ni siya mo qualify no for a clinical disorder. Ang present lang naa ni battered woman syndrome naa siya learned helplessness. So sama ato kung giingon no nga walay naka-help niya and then naka-feel siya nga she's being caged, walay pag-asa, no? And then naasad ng learned hopelessness. No, what do we mean by the learned hopelessness? Kana bitong with the belief of the woman nga mausab pa ang iyang husband, no, kana bang let's say they were in the dating relationship stage at that time and then the woman believed nga or nakita siya nga the wife is actually drinking and na siya problem when it comes to drinking kay after he is already under the influence of liquor, the person starts to become aggressive, no? So pwede niya i-attack iyang wife, no? Or iyang girlfriend pa di ato nga time, no? So nanay violence, no? Nanay physical assault during their dating relationship. And then ni hope si wife ni anak nga ay ma-change ra ni siya inig kaminyo namo. So naminyo na sila tananan, no? So fast forward, no, napay effects bitaw na naminyo na sila nya same gyapon, no? Palahubog gyapon and then aggressive gihapon. And that's actually leading for the wife to hope again nga maybe inig panganak namo ma-change ni siya. Okay, ma-responsible na siya. And it didn't happen. No, so na I learned hopelessness, leading for the victim to suffer from many different clinical disorders. You might be asking, unsa man nga mga clinical disorders kaha dyan? Pwede, no? Depression. Pwede anxiety. And mas labang pwede kining PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. But I hope no, you are also with me in the advocacy of educating mental health to the people nga please no, let's do away with jargons or clinical jargons in normal conversations, no? Let's not use depression in normal conversations, how to describe sadness. Sadness dito yung imong na-feel and then you are using the term depression. Lahi ng depression sa sadness ha. Although the principal symptom of depression is sadness or loss of interest to things. Depression alone, no, cannot also be used directly in normal conversations just to represent nga mo ni mohang feeling of sadness, no? It doesn't actually qualify. So dili na siya niya. Pwede sad ka ng another example would be kanang trauma, no? Kanang gitulis kagabi nya then ingon ka nga na trauma gyud ko sa nahitabo, no? So dili na siya pwede na nato magamit is fear, no? Nahadlok ka, no? Kay ang trauma it could be observed within a month, no? Usa ka bulan pa na siya. So night time frame and then naay mga symptoms. So no, I hope you are with me and pakatan-awa data sa Blue Hearts be. If we want to advocate for mental health, now in our chat section. No, if you are still there, just to check. No, ato lang i-remind no ang public nga we should be using simple terms, no, simple English language nga sadness, naka-feel tag afraid, no, naka-feel tag fear, nya usay mo gamit tag bipolar nga description which is not also appropriate, no, kay grabe kaayo. No, dili na siya pwede ha. So allow lang the psychiatrist and the psychologist to use these terminologies in the psychological reports nga i-submit or ihatag, no? Kay dili gyud na siya pwede. Nya, clinical disorders no pwede na siya nga no nagi mga sakit kaayo nga pamalandungon nga gikag depression, pwede na siya mo jump into schizophrenia or psychosis, no? Kanang tungod lang ana no, tungod lang ana nga pagka-expose niya sa violence. No na ako'y padong interviewon sa una nga wala na akong kaning stop ang interview kay di na ko siya masabtan no kay naa na siya psychotic symptoms. No nya mo file man og case, the interview must be objective nya, di man siya kahatag na kog objective nga kuano for the kaning first lang nga initial interaction, di mo gid siya katubag kay mukalit ram siya ingon nga ay sabi ko nga mahimo na siyang aggressive ba. So mo to among gi-cancel mo na no sad kaayo no. Just to share with you in a month no natay mga ako lang no as one of the psychologists in Law Inc. nagoy about 10 to 15 clients in a month no nga himuan na tong psychological report nga mo file ni siya silag case against their husbands or their partners no. So kana sad kay siya. The perpetrator, no, mao ni siya, nakita sa mga studies nga they have personality disorders. So they have the possibility to be diagnosed with these 3, no, personality disorders. What are they? Kani silang tulo, under ni sila sa cluster B sa personality disorder. So ang cluster B kay dramatic, emotional, unpredictable thinking and behavior. No, so unpredictable, emotional, dramatic pa jud no, may kay mo drama-drama. So inana no, ang borderline personality disorder mao na siya ang no sa side sa perpetrator, mo ni sila ang kining unstable nga perception sa ilang kaugalingon. They are so afraid of being left behind by their partners to the point nga in love kay sila sa partner pero pwede nga mo claw sila no, pwede ba mo ingon ba nga sige biyae ko kay patyon tika, or pwede gyud no nga mo result into kanang death sa ilang partner kay sobra kay na sila ka hadlok kung mabiyaan sa ilang partner. So mo na ang borderline personality. Sometimes they would doubt their self-worth. No, grabe kay na sila ka down. And sometimes no they would also become so proud of themselves. No? So mo na ang borderline, unstable ang ilang perception sa ilang kaugalingon. Ang narcissistic no, I think common kini madunggan ninyo, right? Ano? So, ang narcissistic mo ni siya ang sobra sad, lahi sad, no? So, the person wants to be in the limelight. Ganahan kay siya nga siya ang center of attention, naa niya tanan, no? Siya maoy na gwapo, pinakagwapo, pinaka-lovable, no? Murag mo niyang gusto ba nga pirmi siya ang center sa attention. So, mo na ang narcissistic personality, no? From the Greek personality Narcissus who fell in love with himself, no? Sa iyang image sa river, no? So antisocial, no, this is also a variant of narcissistic personality. Ang antisocial lang is kaninang layman's term nga kining sociopath, psychopath, mao ni sila. Mao ni siya ang clinical term, antisocial personality disorder. These are individuals who are already kanang committing unlawful behaviors, no, repeated unlawful behaviors, no, mo commit na sila na recklessness, they always violate the rights of other people. So mo na no mo ning tulo no, so bugat kaayo nga possible na siya nga present sa perpetrators. Ang mga anak sad no, this is also very saddening no in the picture because they might also suffer from clinical disorders, no, from PTSD, and we know for a fact nga ang PTSD could also be kanibang experience could actually happen, trauma could happen through four ways, no. First is direct experience, no, ikaw mismo naka-direct experience sa threatening event. Second would be you learned, no, from a friend or from a relative nga naay nahitabo niya nga critical incident or life threatening to siya, no, and then witnessed, no, ikaw mismo naka-witness sa traumatic nga incident. And then ang fourth is kining repeated exposure, no, to a critical incident like kanang magsigig paminaw o kaning part sa imong job is actually to listen to the cries of people, no, ka weird sa nang trabaho kana may na ba example, no, repeated exposure to kaning threatening life threatening events, no, kanang magsig record og kaning mga videos in relation to patay, no, so kana siya pwede na siya nga magka PTSD ang person. So with that, no, pwede sila maka-witness sa violence sa parents and likely pwede sila magka PTSD. Depression, no, pwede na siya nga internal na siyang problem nila iluom lang, no, dili isulti, dili i-share, or pwede sad na nga outward pod ang manifestation sa problem through ADHD, no, meaning magkuan didto dili siya mahimutang, gabi kayahang attention span, mubo kay tanan, no, gabi kayang hyperactivity, and then conduct disorder, no, pwede sa panggawas gihapon, no, meaning these are this is actually a problem with individuals younger than 15 years old nga kana bitawng they have this defiance with authority figures, no, even parents or even kaning mga police officers pwede sila mo defy. Okay, so ang community dako kaayo og role, no, that's the reason why in Law Inc we actually educate paralegals, no, part na sa amo PLT training, and we always remind them nga kanagong MA mo, no, inigkahuman sa kurso, inigkahuman sa training, MA mo mura mog abogado, and they would actually be feeling good about it, no, kay kabaw na inform sila unsay naa sa balaod about vowsy, about other kining related laws, no, not just vowsy, no, kaning 13 kining 13113, no, so kana nga balaod, sorry, anti bastos law kining 7877, no, kining anti sexual harassment, no, so daghan sila makatunan nga mga balaod nga pwede makuan sa paralegal training. So mo ni among gi panghingusgan karon sa Law Inc nga maka-share me, no, with PLT1 training sa ilaha, and then vow desk mo ni ang duulon ni wife or ni partner, no, nga woman kung adunay mga concern, no, nga in relation to kining protection order, no, sa police kuan ni station and the court, no, so asa ma-file dito kung naay family court or kung wala naay MTC, kung naa sa municipality or RTC nga duol, no, which is very very kanang jurisdictional, no. So karon when it comes to the victims, ang approach actually is that we refer them to the proper mental health professionals, no, especially trained when it comes to trauma-informed counseling. Kinisang when it comes to trauma, na ay mga effective nga psychotherapies, no, na ay brief eclectic psychotherapy, kato pwede man na i-rewrite niya ang katong past. Si counselor mutabang ni client nga i-rewrite ang past, and then nasa tayo gitawag og EMDR, no, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, and then CBT is also very effective, no, cognitive behavioral therapy. So adto ni sila didto dadon sa mga psychotherapist, no, ang victim, and kana kung naay crisis actually mas nindot nga naa sa counselor didto nga motabang sad sa victim kung naay crisis ang woman. Okay? So, referral, we are actually kaning fortunate nga naa si Philippine Mental Health Association Cebu chapter. You can always check them sa ilahang Facebook page. Mao ni pwedeng ma-consult ninyo when it comes to mental health problems, and we are actually comprised of a multidisciplinary team. We have social workers, counselors, psychologists, and psychiatrists, no? So kung dili na gyud mada kinahanglan nag medication, so silang psychiatrists ang mo hatag og medication, and while ongoing ang medication, no, psychotherapy and counseling could also be be done together with the medication. And then another is also legal alternatives for women. Again, no, amo ang gi-emphasize sad nga walay gastuan si client, and all services would be given for free, including group sessions. In fact, Law Inc. has also created um, a support group for women survivors of trafficking and kining domestic violence. Mag-meet na sila, and then some women would also be testifying and sharing about their experiences in the past. And nan sila yung monthly nga meeting nga tanan nga client sa Law Inc. mag-abot, and they would be talking and sharing topics, no, in relation to coping and kining forming a support system if the survivor is also new to the program, no. So with that, I want to thank you, no, for the opportunity to talk to you and share with you some insights in relation to domestic violence. If you have questions, you may also raise them.
Thank you, Sir Genesis. If anyone has questions, they can type it in the Zoom or in the Facebook chat box. We have a question from the audience here. First is, how do you help a friend who is in an abusive relationship, but that friend does not want to report the abuse?
Okay. That's also very challenging, no? The friend has an insight nga she is in an abusive relationship but doesn't want to report. Now, pwede na to siya, no, ang ato arjo mabuhat as a friend, no, would also be the reminder or giving a caution that when the relationship might actually be flourishing into or might actually be leading for them, no, to consider tying the knot, that abusive relationship might still be present. So what you can do is actually to be there, no, nga mag-remind lang kaniya, and to listen, no, to the person. If the person doesn't actually welcome your caution or your warning, then all you can do is actually to hear that person out, no, unsa iyang challenges. You can listen to the person. We can utilize active responding, no, active empathic responding, by trying to ask questions in relation to what the person feels, what the person thinks, no. Pwede ta mangutan na ana niya kay there might be some deeper stories behind her decision to share with you her experiences, and through it, no, through your dialogue, through your active empathic responding, you might be able to help her, no, nga siya mismo ang mo decide, no. It is a process, no. I would like to remind you that it is not going to be a one time deal of dialogue. It would be a process, but who knows, no, through your active empathic responding, it might lead for that person to be firm with her decision to cut that relationship or put an end to that abusive relationship, no. So mao gyud na siya, open ka ita nga maminaw nga whenever the person bitaw kanang magkurog siya. So what I mean with active empathic responding is kung magkurog siya, imo siyang ibalik nga nagkurog ka karon while nag-share ka, unsay but pasabot nimo ana. You must be so afraid, no. So once mo na siya nga, yes, hadlok kay ko karon, no, kay hapit ko niya kanang kuana patya or unsa, no, depende sa iyang sharing. So pwede dito palawman na to ang story, palawman na to ang pagpaminaw sa iyahan, no, because we are given 2 ears, no. the left ear and the right ear, and if you would combine that, no, you are listening with a heart. So as simple as that nga, naminaw kaniya in that process, and it might actually kanang help the person in the process of kana batang confirming and having that firmness in her to decide to put an end into that abusive relationship. Oo. So, it's a process actually. You might be frustrated as a friend later on nga. Ay, kapuya na ni sige paminaw niya. Uy, pero maura maghihapon. Sige na magbalik-balik. Iya magyapon balikan. Iyang partner nga abusive. But that's what we can do. No, we as a friend or even as a counselor, even as a friend gani, no, di ka pwedeng mo counsel sa imong friend, no, kay dili man na siya pwede, no, that's a violation even. So pwede na siya nga kung naa na gani tay makita lang niya nga changes, no, like behavioral changes, kining naay mga symptoms, no, for depression or trauma, no, pwede gyud ta maka-convince niya nga ana, you might consider kanang consulting a psychologist or a psychiatrist, no, for your case. So that's actually being a supportive friend, no, to a friend who is also having that abusive relationship. I hope I was able to answer the question, Miss.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have another question. This one is the most relatable current event now is the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. So Johnny Depp was the victim in the trial, but then
Yes.
how come? Why is that women are portrayed mostly the victims, but then if there are times where men are also the victim?
Yes. In fact, tinuod na siya, no? Mona, earlier I said that violence could also be present among men. Before, we know for a fact that women in the past were perceived to be uh, the weaker sex. And kana siya, likely it's so easy for people to judge right away that men are actually the predators, men are actually abusive, are prone to violate the rights of women, and it's so easy, no, for uh, people to judge, no, because according to the transform mativists and also kining mga feminists, they are actually saying kining domestic violence, this is actually a sexual kining violence, perceiving that women are weaker and men are capable of assaulting and doing, no, the violations uh, against women. But there are also cases, even, no, even in the interviews that I conduct with clients, I also warn myself in doing psychological interviews, especially when women are also creating stories, when women are also not providing me with sufficient documents in relation to the case that they are filing. And kana as a practitioner, sometimes when I feel that my head is already aching listening to the woman filing for the case, kanang one ako nga, ma'am, time pa, pwede ko mangayo og kanang inani nga mga documents in relation to the case. No, sometimes, no, when I would be having a difficulty in connecting to the stories that she creates, kay daghan man kayo, and sometimes dili siya ma-consistent sa akong mga questions nga akong i-follow up, dito na maglabad akong ulo, and I would actually say nga kani women also are capable, no, I would agree to that nga women are also capable of committing such form of violence to men. Okay, naa-day question si Ma'am Jacqueline, no? Ako lang ibasa, Miss. Okay ra.
Go ahead,
Miss
sir.
Kim, thank you. How do you tell your partner? Okay, sige. how do you tell the partner ko, no, from an abusive relationship, because there are things that traumatized you from your ex, and how does a woman overcome it with a new partner? Um, this is actually a challenging kind of question, no? Yes. It pays to be truthful to your new partner, because you could not actually um deceive your body. Your body would often react to the touch, and especially if those areas are actually sensitive from the traumatic experiences that you have had. Dili gyud na mura ba gitawag na siya the betrayal of the body. Your mind would want to forget about it, but the body has its own map where you could be reminded about that traumatic incident. One way to address that, ma'am, is you need to also undergo therapy. No, that person needs to go to therapy in order to address those symptoms or symptomatologies being present. And uh it pays to be honest to the new partner that you were able to experience such critical incident or life-threatening event, because you need to have a supportive partner who would be there for you each time you would feel that form of discomfort. You need that new partner to support you whenever you go to therapy, whenever there are instances where in kanang sa trauma man gud na ay instances nga na ay intrusive thoughts. You need to have a partner who would be there, no, to listen to you. Pwede ra gyud na kanang moingon ka nga paminawa lang ko, unsa ni akong gibati karon, and that person, no, would always be kana bang your support system, no, whenever you don't feel comfortable about yourself. No, kay mao gyud na siya. Pwede gyud na siya nga pwede man gud nga what I'm trying to say is, if dili ka ma-honest sa imong partner, na ay certain instances nga sa thighs i-touch ka, no, kay partner man nimo siya, pwede i-touch ka sa wrist, no, these are vulnerable, uh these are also kining zones nga dili ka pwede i-touch, kay mo ba ni, no, example, mga victims of rape, dili pwede diri sa thighs, dili pwede sa tuhod, and kana siya nga mga ano, we need to admit nga pwede na magunitan at any point in time, and na kay reaction nga dili niya magustuhan, and it pays to be transparent and honest, no, kay pwede man na sila nga mo support nimo in that way, no. And kana sad with trauma patients, no, sama sa ako mga gipang atubang sad karon with trauma patients, na ay mga a few, no, nga mo result into taking bitaw unprescribed medications, and it leads to substance misuse, and that's very detrimental, no, kay pwede na siya nga magka-create siya og tolerance and dependence over those unprescribed medications, and malisod na noon, no, kay mahimo siyang substance induced nga anxiety, or mahimo napa jud kay trauma, so naa na sila comorbid, no, nga problem, duha na kabuk ilang problem. So mana, no, na mga inana nga tendency nga gi-recommend ni sa friend, and I hope, no, dili sad ta mo result into substance misuse. We need to buy medications that are prescribed by our psychiatrist or our doctor.
We have a question from the chat box, sir. What are usually the warning signs of an abusive partner, especially at the outset of the relationship?
Okay, thank you. No, that's also a very challenging question. First is that your way of communication. No, when you feel for yourself that it's not a healthy conversation, no, you're no longer sharing a healthy conversation, like the communication becomes blaming, placketing. When you speak of placketing, kana bitong gikuan na lang kaniya, gi-appease na lang kaniya, bisan the person is no longer truthful to you. or it becomes pacifying, no kana bang just for you to shut up, kana nga paagi, or when the person starts to raise his voice, so kana siya sa communication nga side. And there are already kanang attempts, no, as I've mentioned, no, sa dating pa lang nga relationship pwede nimo makita ang kining behaviors, no, initial nga behavior sa imuhang partner. If there were already attempts of him hitting you, wala lang niya gidayon, but that is already a form of psychological abuse, no, that is already psychological violence, no, bisag mo na pa siya nga mo ni siya, no, attempt lang na siya, but that is already something that your body reacted to and reacted with, kana mismo, that is already a red flag, no, of an abusive partner. So communication, iyang behavior, kana bang dili congruent ang iyang gisulti sa iyang behavior, nga whenever you would be asking the person nga, di ba, namo gid moy we time together, no, or namoy quality time together, each time you would be asking the person nga, can you be truthful to me, can you tell me about what are your plans about the future, no, kung may nana, yeah, the person doesn't actually answer you directly, pwede nga kapuya ba, sige tagbalik ana, no, and then ang iya hapong behavior is not congruent to what he is saying, no, meaning pwede siya nga nasuko lagi ka ganina, no, ni singgit lagi ka, ni syagit lagi, or ni raise lagi imong voice, yan siya, wala wam ko nasuko, no, ya, pero kunot kay hang naong, no, so nay mga nga tendency, no, so pwede na sila nga mga early warning signs actually, no, when it comes to their communication and their behavior. So it's not easy to detect an abusive partner. That's the reason why many women would actually become victims, no, kay kung pwede pa lang, no, nga kung manguyab, no, ang requirement psychological exam sa psychological test, then that could be done, no, but no, it would be an absurd, no, qualification or kaning criteria as a suitor, no, but kana lang, no, it's hard actually to detect, but then again, kana pwede pa lang psychological test bago ko no jowa. Then no, kana many would actually be kanang alarmed, and many would be somehow be raising awareness about an abusive partner, but it isn't easy to spot actually, no, sometimes may kaya na sila, just like kining borderline personality, no, while they are courting you, padung pa man ka ma-fall nila, no, so mo nang welcoming kaayo, grabe kaayo mo kuan sa ila, grabe kay mo daog kanang pa-sweet, no, grabe kay mo daog pa-fall nimo, but then eventually baya, no, pwede na siya nga in the middle of your married or marital relationship, pwede na siyang mugawas, no, pwede na siya mugawas nga mamunog siya, no, so mo na siya nga with annulment cases nga akong i-handle, I would always be discussing three important kining akong i-focus sa katong three important requirements sa psychological incapacity, no, so mo na ay mga segments nga kinahanglan nimong pabugatan, kay dito ni gawas man ang problem, no, nga pwede man ang problem ni persist siya pag married life na nila, nga wala na niya nakita during sa ilahang pagkuyog as kining boyfriend and girlfriend, but then eventually nigawa siya, no, ni fully bloom siya pagka married life na nila, and it led for them to end their relationship, no, so mo na lisod jud kaayo ma'am, no, mo nang niyan ako ganina nga lisod kay ni challenging kay ni siya nga question actually. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the very in-depth answers to the questions. I hope everyone's questions were answered. So with this, I would like to present to you the e-certificate. So this is a certificate of appreciation presented to Genesis C. Dihan for sharing his valuable knowledge and time during the Teen Connection 2022 Violence is Never a Solution via Zoom given on the 6th day of July 2022. signed by President Janelle Casas and Liza Orbiztondo, VP of Internal Affairs. Next, can we all, for the ones in the Zoom meeting, can we turn on our cameras so we could take a photo?
Tech team, can we please move it to the first slide or like the poster?
Direct means.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I can take the photo. Smiling pic first. Okay, sige. We'll just give them a few more seconds. Some people are still turning on their cameras. Okay. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and can we do the hand sign? Cross your fingers for one bold step. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're good, BC.
Okay, so to close today's webinar, may I call on President Janelle to do the closing remarks.
Thank you for that, Co-Chair Kim. Our speakers this morning, Chief Kaya Altbar, Genesis Dahan, JCI Philippines National Board, Synergy Presidents, JCI Zubuana 2022 Board of Directors, JCI members, friends, guests, good morning. Teen Connection this year focuses on preventing domestic abuse. Each one of us may know someone who is abused, not only physically, but can also be psychological, verbally, mentally, sexually, and emotionally. Victims of violence does not only limit to women, it can be children, men, and the LGBTQIA+. Thank you to our speakers, Chief Altbar and Sir Genesis Dehan, for sharing your knowledge about domestic abuse. Some of us might not know or admit that we are already abused, and this webinar helps us realize such matters need to be addressed. Let us help our community in raising awareness that violence is never the solution. Congratulations to the Teen Connection 2022 team led by Project Chair Jackie, Co-Chair Kim, VP Liza, Direct Eunice, Direct Jessica, and ComStaff for a successful webinar. Thank you all for joining this morning's webinar.
Thank you, President Janelle. So there we have it. In behalf of JCI Cebuana and TeenCon 2022 team, we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. So good afternoon and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.